2 weeks ago, my season ended, and I asked a lot from my body during that season. I raced a total of 84 miles and 23,000 feet of elevation gain, which is so much for me. I could die at any moment. So after that, I took a week to reset mentally and physically, and now I am base training, baby. And I'm so excited because I love base phase. I think it is maybe the most fun type of training. So I figured I would just go through what I'm doing right now and explain the pillars of base training, why you should do it, how to do it, how I'm doing it, and my best tips. So base phase is the time in training where you're training to train, not training to race. And what I mean by that is that you are doing all of the training necessary to make your body able to handle the higher intensity training and racing that you'll be doing later on. First pillar of base training is volume. I'm just running easy this whole week because base training, baby. Working on that base aerobic fitness, endurance, efficiency, getting ready to do some workouts next week and the coming weeks. For now, easy. Every run, I can just have a conversation during. I could sing a song. Because most of the volume is pretty low intensity, base phase is the perfect time to build up your mileage with a lower risk of injury. And then when you're able to run that mileage, your body is able to adapt and your bones, tendons, and ligaments will strengthen to be able to handle that type of mileage. Those beasts, they're scared. They are scared for their lives. Last week was my first week of base training, and I ran 5 times for a total of 38 miles. Throughout this, I've been using my Coros Apex 2 to help me track my mileage and also give me some stats. The main ones that I've been paying attention to are fitness, recovery, and training load. Since the purpose of base training is to build up aerobic endurance, mitochondrial density, mental toughness, and running economy, I want to make sure to balance my training load and recovery to ensure that I'm recovering from my training, but also pushing myself to make sure that those fitness levels are rising. It's a careful balance, and Coros really helps me hit that perfectly on the nose. For example, by the end of last week, I was feeling a little run down, but I took a day off on Monday, and now my recovery is looking great. I also want to note that cross training is important too. So I'm not a high mileage runner, but I'm able to supplement with cross training. Last week, I cross trained for about 7 hours. That to me is also valuable. Obviously, it's not the same. I'm not training my body to respond to the stress of running, but I'm still building up my aerobic endurance, and I'm building up my mitochondrial density, and I'm building up my mental toughness, maybe even more than running for long amounts of time does. So if you're not a high mileage runner, do not dismay. Cross training is an incredible tool, and you can also build up cross training volume during the base phase. The second pillar of base phase is threshold. Depending on how much time you have at the beginning of base phase, you might not actually do workouts for like a month. For me, I took a week of no workouts, and this week I'm doing a lactate threshold test. So stay tuned. I'll be doing a lactate threshold now and again in about 6 weeks. So we'll see. We'll see how I do. Obviously, you don't have to do a test, but it can be really motivating and help you track your progress. But the reason for that is that a huge focus of the base phase is building up your lactate threshold, which is the speed at which your body produces and gets rid of lactate at the same rate. It's that comfortably hard pace that everyone talks about. And it's really important because having a strong lactate threshold not only allows you to run reps faster, but also allows you to recover from reps faster during the workout and after the workout. The third pillar is speed. And this might seem counterintuitive since I keep saying that the intensity is lower, but improving leg speed and power during base phase can be a great way to make the transition between base phase and the higher intensity training later really seamless. And it also doesn't have to be a huge amount of stimulus, and it doesn't have to increase the injury risk at all. So for me, that means doing hill strides about 2 to 3 times a week, 6 by 20 to 30 seconds with a walk down in between. I love this because first off, it scratches my itch for high intensity training, and second off, doing them uphill allows a higher power output and a lower injury risk. Third off, it makes me feel springy. It gives me that power, it gives me that speed. So then when I start doing track workouts or higher intensity, speedier stuff later, I'm gonna have that speed in me. The fourth pillar of base training is strength. By this, I mean actually strength training. So if you're going to introduce any sort of strength training into your regimen, base phase is the time to do it. I do that by having higher reps, lower weight, higher sets. And I take this time to make sure I'm building up my muscular endurance and improving my form and overall performance in the gym, so that then later when I want to do explosive exercises where I'm really trying to have a maximal output, then I can guarantee that I have the muscular endurance and the form to support those types of exercises without getting injured. Right now, I'm doing a 10 by 10 regimen, so I'm doing 10 sets of 10 reps, and the rest is 30 seconds. So yes, that's a lot, and I don't expect most people to do that. I've had success with it in the past, and I really enjoy that style of training when I'm working on muscular endurance, but it's definitely extreme. So yeah, it's difficult. I will say it's difficult, but you know, hard things are fun. I love having a great reason to be very dramatic while I'm training.
I am walking back to my car right now, and my hamstrings, they are speaking in 17 different languages right now, just saying no, no, certainly not, certainly not.
Now, the fifth pillar of base training is recovery. Obviously, all of this is for nothing if we get injured in the middle of base phase, so recovery is so important. Listen to your body and what it's asking for and what you need, because I can tell you all of this stuff, but I'm not you and you're not me. So what we each need is going to be different. This also means fueling well and rolling and activating and doing your mobility and whatever else it is that makes you feel your best, because this is the time to set the habits to carry through the rest of the season. I see base phase as the base of everything. This is what everything else is going to be built off of, and I want to make sure that I am recovering like an absolute queen all season. And if I'm not doing it now, I'm not going to be doing it later. Optimize it now, so that by the time I'm racing, I don't even think about it. Activation, what? That's a habit. I don't think about it, I just do it. Quality nutrition, habit. Chiropractor, we're on a first name basis. We're besties, yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously, it's not all encompassing, but it definitely gives you a good idea of what base phase is, what some of those goals should be, and my way of approaching it. I'm gonna be sharing more about what I'm doing in the upcoming videos, so stay tuned. Please like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it whenever you do that. It is so helpful to me. Thank you for watching, and that's all for now, folks.